Welcome along to another A-level revision tutorial, and this one's going to focus on the topic of organisational design. Now, when businesses first start out, particularly if they're sole traders and very small organisations, the structure of the organisation might not be that sophisticated. In many businesses, there is only one person, so they don't need to worry about who is going to work with who in the organisation or who might be in charge of whom. But as organisations grow and get larger, thinking about the mechanics of the organisation, how it's going to be structured, who might have greater seniority in the organisation, who might be working with whom, who might be responsible for other workers in the business, and who people might report to, suddenly becomes something that entrepreneurs and managers need to devote a lot more time to thinking about. Now, as businesses grow, they might create something known as an organizational chart, which is a visual illustration of who works where in the business. It will show the employees who they report to, who they are in charge of, so that everybody is absolutely clear of the seniority and the accountability in this organization. And if you're looking for extra support with your A-level business revision, why not check out the Hot Topics Guidebook and the Hot Topics Guidebook 2 over at TakingTheBiz.com. Now, an organizational chart probably doesn't look that sophisticated. It's not a work of art. It's simply a very clear visual illustration, a roadmap, if you will, of who works where in an organization. So everybody's absolutely clear who they are accountable to, who they are accountable for, how much responsibility they have in the organization, so that everybody has a clear understanding of their role that they play in the business's operations. Organization charts show us the hierarchical structure of the organization, and we can understand the term hierarchy to essentially mean how much responsibility does each level of the organization have. And we'll usually find that the people at the top of the hierarchy have the greatest responsibility, and then as we move down the levels or the layers of that hierarchy, each level has increasingly less responsibility in the organization, meaning they might not make as many important decisions, they might not make any decisions at all, and they will find that they have to seek instruction from the people that are above them in the hierarchy. When studying organisation charts in class, you might come across some fairly odd terminology. So let's see if we can clear some of that up for you now, beginning with the phrase chain of command, which is a very simple term to understand. It quite simply means who people report to in the organisation. You might also come across the phrases line manager and subordinates. Now, a line manager is who you report to in the organisation. It's the person who is essentially your boss, the person directly above you in the organization. It's not the person at the top of the organizational hierarchy. Your line manager is simply the person above you that you report to and take instructions from. Whereas your subordinates are the people that you are directly in control of. It's not everybody that's at the layers below you in the organizational structure. It's just those that are directly below you that you have accountability and responsibility for. The other phrase you might come across when studying organisation charts is span of control, and it's often quite a misunderstood one by A-level students. It's quite simply the number of people that a line manager is directly responsible for, or in other words, how many subordinates they have. For example, in this organisation chart, we can have a look at the managing director and try and work out their span of control. Now remember, it's not everybody that's beneath them in the organizational structure. It's just those that are directly beneath them. So in this structure, our managing director has a span of control of 4 individuals, whereas if we have a look at the marketing manager, they have a span of control of 2. And the bigger somebody's span of control is, the more people they are directly responsible for. So in theory, the tougher task they will have to try and supervise all of these different individuals.